Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. If this is your first time, welcome. And so today, I'm not going to be doing balloon twisting. We're going to go ahead and talk about face painting. And I'm actually not going to do any face painting. Again, golly, I keep saying all these things that I'm not going to do. No balloon twisting, no face painting. So what I am actually going to do is I'm going to take a little trip to Michael's today and show you some of the things I started out with that you can start out with to get you, on that path towards face painting if it's something you've wanted to try out before. So it definitely takes practice, but with enough, hard work, you can definitely get there. And so I'm going to go over some of the products I use, and also for my balloon people, I'll be sharing, we'll be looking at some markers there too. And after the video, towards the end of this, I'll do a comparison of some markers that I've tried to use before, and what are some of the pros and cons of them. And so anyway, stick around for that part. You can kind of see I have a balloon that's marked on over here, but like I said, I'll come back again at the end and we'll take a look at that together. But the main focus of this video is to talk about the different paints and the products from Michael's that like I said, when I first started out, and some I still go for and use, and you'll be able to see those as well. So stick around. I'll do just what I do in my other videos still, is I'll bring the sound down and I'll do voiceover just discussing some of those things. And also I think I included, if I remember correctly, some of the prices, so before you go to the store you'll have an idea about what kind of budget you should be working with to get you started. And also don't forget, at the very bottom of this, in the description below, I'll have some links there, so don't overlook that. I know sometimes you get caught up in just watching the video and think, oh, you didn't give me all the information I needed. Just check the description below. But if I don't put it there, don't worry, just comment to me and say, hey, where did you get this? Where did you get that? And I'll be happy to lead you in that right direction. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and go to Michael's. So we made it to Michael's, and the good thing about this store, got lots of arts and crafts, a lot of fun things you could do, like do-it-yourself projects and stuff like that. But like I said, we're going to go inside and look at some of the cool stuff they have for face painting. The first thing we come to is the face painting itself, or the face paint. Look at all these kits you can see. Snazaroo is the brand I see at Michael's consistently. Haven't really seen anything else, but look at that. They have little small palettes. They have individual cakes, so you can see they have a lot of colors, which is kind of nice. Like I said, this is good for starting out. So check it all. The prices, look at that, about $9.49 is what you're looking at, and that's for a single cake. There's some sponges here, but I'll show you some later. Look, that's $3.29, and then this big palette here, that's 8 colors. You can see we're looking at $69.99. And so, like I said, you can see a wide variety here just to get you started. And now we move on to our brushes. You can see there are many different brands here. And after looking at it, I noticed that you won't pay more than $10, or, well, depend on the tax. But you can see the cap is pretty much $9.99, and then it'll go down from there. If you keep watching here, we got our $5.99, $8.99, and you can see the different brands. But it looks like Craft Smart is the most that you'll find in this area, but there are other brands here as well. And so the nice part about them, though, is you can see they come in different varieties, which is pretty cool. You'll have some that are just pure flat brushes, and some that'll be angled brushes, others that are just liner brushes, which is nice. Typically your liner brush is a round brush, so just take a look when you're in there. This is definitely what you're looking for. You could definitely go to a section that has the brushes that are out. If you're looking for a specific one, you could definitely find those. But a lot of times these pre-packaged ones are definitely going to cover you. And you can see they range from 7 to 15 pieces in there. And as little, you can see right here is 4 right there. But look at these round ones here on the end. And that's what I'm saying. These right here are pretty good for lining. And you can see there's different sizes there, which is really cool. Okay. And another brand to keep in mind, and I'll link it here, is Mark Reed brushes and Lou Cornell's. Those are also really good as well. So look at all these different brushes, keep an eye on them, and just do your research and see what you like best. All right, and now we're looking at a paint bucket, our water bucket, so we can wash out our paints. About $7.99 for this guy. It does have 2 reservoirs. It has the top there, so you can definitely stand your paint brushes in it, and that works out nice. You see the holes there, that's what they're made for. And so the nice part about the reservoirs is they are textured, which means you can scrub your brushes on the bottom there and clean them out at the same time while they're in the water. So I've had mine for a very long time, and it works out really, really well. And last but not least, in regards to beginning your face painting kit, is sponges. Look at that, about $1.99. You get 3 in here, and what I like to do is cut them in half. And so you can get double the amount, which is nice. And this is good sponges if you're not sure what in the world you'd be using them for. It's for covering large areas of the face. You know, sometimes when you start, you think that you could just use a big brush and do it, but the sponge is the best way to go, and it works great for blending. So that's what you're going to be using a sponge for. So $1.99, you get 3, and they're very nice. And these are nice and soft. I really do like these, this brand right here versus the Snazaroo one that you might have seen earlier. Okay, and so from here, we're going to be moving on to our pouncers, and they're round brushes on the end of a dowel or like a wand. You can see right here, these are for creating nice round areas when you have a design that needs something round. It makes it really easy, and you don't have to figure it out. You look at about $6 for those. Okay, so sponges, definitely. Alrighty, and so we're moving right to our some of the markers, some of these paint pens. This is for the ballooning. So you see those are Craft Smart, and then we have our Sharpie. We have a large section here, and it works out really nice. You can see we have our oil-based section. You can see they're all pink down here at the bottom. And so those are nice. You know, I don't mind them, but I prefer the water-based. You can see oil-based. You can see it's pink. It says it right there, oil-based. And on the bottom, there's a pink band, just so you know, and you can tell the difference when you're looking at them. And then up here, we have the water-based. And for me, this is my preference for ballooning. I do like this brand right here, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're doing your research, okay? And one last thing before we leave the video, and that is if you don't have headbands, one thing you can do here in the string area, you can see I'm showing you what you'd be looking at before you find and zero in on what I'm choosing is this string right here. Look, the string cords and glue. You can see it right here. It's this string. It's about $5.99, I would say. I think that's what it was. But you can see right there. It says stringing. There you go. And you can see back there at the back, $5.99. So it's a great alternative if you don't have headbands. But if you do, get those. All right, so we're back here at home. Thanks for following along with me and watching that video. Like I said, hopefully it was full of good information for you that you can use. Again, so you know what kind of budget you're looking at spending. You know, as always, it takes money to make money, but not too bad when it comes to face painting, because those paints, they last a long time, or they can. So so let's talk about the markers, the markers that I've used in regards to painting on balloons or drawing on balloons. The first one was this Craft Smart balloon pen, this pen that I found. It's not a balloon pen, pardon me. It's a pen that I found. It's a paint pen, but you know what I've noticed though, it didn't say this on here, but one thing that I know right away is it is probably oil-based or water-based, one of the two. I didn't look to see what it is. I'm going to say it's oil-based, and what makes me or leads me to believe that is because I drew on, this is the test sometimes, so you can see what pens will do or won't do. So what happened down here is you see those colored areas, those colors show up really vibrant, and that was nice, but what happened is I put the paint pen down first and then I drew the color over it, and that worked pretty good. But the other thing to give it a good test, full test, is when I went to put the black marker down and draw on top of it, you see we got some gray areas there. So what happened is it picked up some of that black paint, or excuse me, that black marker. So that tells me that it's probably oil-based somewhere in their ingredients list, just so you know. Later or earlier, you probably saw that I had gone over a few towards the end of the Michael's video. I showed you that there's oil-based pens and water-based. Water-based, when a lot of times when you draw on top of this, and that's our other marker here, the Sharpie water-based, a lot of times they won't mix with this, the black marker. A lot of times you can draw on top of it, it looks pretty good. If you do the oil-based on top of this, it starts to pick up the black marker, and that's why I say that I really do think that this has some type of oil mixture in there. Although pretty good for drawing the colors on there, but just won't do it on top of that. You'd have to leave a gap there and fill it in with this, and be very careful that you don't touch that black pen, otherwise it'll pick it up. So keep that in mind. That was Craft Smart was that brand. And then the other one that I was just talking about was the Sharpie white water based. As you can tell, it has a little blue label on the bottom there, and the oil based has the pink, right? So keep that in mind. This does draw on top of the black and won't pick it up most of the time. I don't know, I really haven't had it do that, and for one reason or the other. Now the drawback of this one now is if you start to draw on the back here, I did a few, there's the red and there's a blue. What happened is I put the white down first, and then I drew on top of it with just a regular Sharpie, and then you'll see it immediately, the colored Sharpie started to activate that white and pick it up again. So this one is not good for putting it down and then drawing color on top of it. It will for a short while, but as soon as it gets activated, it starts picking it up along with that colored marker. And like I said, you get this kind of, it's a little bit muddled when you do that, okay? And so so the marker so far that has been able to do both is the Eddings, just so you know, okay? So that Eddings draws on top of the black real nice, doesn't pick it up, and then so what happens now is you get a nice layer on top of your black balloon or your black marker. So if you wanted to draw on top of a black, you definitely could do so. Or if you're trying to draw like on a green balloon, you do the white layer of the Eddings, and then you do your color down as well. So the Eddings did what this one did, which is nice, where you color the color on top of the white, which works. But then also, where this guy, like I said, it picked it up as soon as it did that, right? Back to the Craft Smart, as soon as we started to draw on the black, it picked it up. The Eddings won't do that, okay? So just so you know, it's got the best of both worlds. And the only drawback I have with the Eddings really is, for me, and this is probably just me, I'm sure you guys probably have no problem with this, and like I said, is the consistency. Sometimes the paint will stop working or stop flowing for me, or sometimes it'll just go bananas and just start coming out like crazy, and I gotta tilt the marker and do this little thing and move it around so all the paint doesn't drip down the edges. So again, it could be just the little guy, I forget the little tip here, maybe getting stuck somehow, and it could be just this one in a million, you know what I mean? But anyway, I would say out of these, if you're in a pinch, you can get both of these at Michael's. But if you don't mind waiting, or if you know some local place, I would definitely go with the Eddings, and just know that that could be an issue, okay? With the little tip getting stuck sometimes. So so that kind of gives you an idea about what we're looking at, and of course. Quality, this is the most expensive of the three, okay? And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I don't remember now, I'll have to look at the price. I'm pretty sure I left the price for this, and I think we could have seen the price on this in the video, okay? So anyway, that brings us almost to a conclusion. I think I was trying to remember something. You know, you get out here and you start talking, and you can't remember whether or not you discussed this or that. So I think that does bring everything to a conclusion. So last but not least, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Say, hey, you gave me some good information, I appreciate it, all that jazz. Absolutely, give it a thumbs up. Comment below, say yes, I could use that. And like before, if I talked about something here and I didn't list a site for it, just remind me and to say, hey, where did you get this or where did you get that, and I'll be happy to link you up with that, so you can definitely get those things, okay? And then what else? Oh, subscribe, of course, duh. That way you're notified when I add something new, and that way you'll know what's up, whether it be balloons or face painting. And so one of the next thing I'm probably going to do, aside from more balloon twisting, is I will go ahead and start painting things here and there, and we'll talk about the different brushes, you know, a little more descriptive, or, you know, just a little more into, you know, just straight up brushes, and not just these are the things you would want to get like we did in this video, okay? All right, so anyway, until next time, happy painting, happy twisting. I don't know what to say now. All right, take care. Bye-bye.